Well, hello there. Welcome to Sustainability, Taking the First Step. This is our four-part sustainability series. I'm Kim Berry, the editor of Food and Drink Business, Australia's leading media platform for the food and beverage manufacturing sector. I'm joined by Karen Lebsat, the co-founder and CEO of Kurrajong Kitchen, and Lauren Branson from Calyx. Hello, you two.
Hello.
Hi, Kim.
Karen, let's go straight to you. Can you tell us a bit about yourself, but also Kurrajong Kitchen?
Yeah, thank you very much, Kim and Lauren. Great to be here. Kurrajong Kitchen hopefully is a well-known brand. We've started baking lavash some 30 years ago in a little restaurant as a side hustle, and it grew into what is now a very well-known brand, some 30 years strong. And we started as a team of two. We've got to a team of 45, started baking really 30 packets a week when we went to market. We now bake roughly 1.2 million pieces per day. And we're found in pantries across the nation, airlines, and benchmarked on chefs' tables. So an enormous growth period over 30 years, and one that hopefully will continue for another 30.
Wow. And that's your own, that's all done by you, isn't it? You've got your own facility, your own factory. You're not using a, co-manufacturer or anything like that.
No. So we're actually a brand owner. So we manage our own brand. We distribute our own brand through a network. And we also, we manufacture. And particularly for us, it's always been very much about manufacturing here in Australia. So that challenge has presented that decision has presented lots of challenges over the time, but we want to stay true to it going forward as well.
Mm. And Lauren, can you tell us a little bit more about yourself, but also about Calyx and what it does?
Yeah, definitely, Kim. And it's lovely to be here with both you and Karen. And Karen, congratulations on such a beautiful brand. I'm really excited about what we're about to do because I'm pretty sure you will never look at your brand in the same way once you've seen it through sustainability lens.
She says that with love.
Sure too.
So I'm the CEO of Calyx, a data intelligence company that really supports brands to turn their products and ingredients into carbon, biodiversity, and water footprints to global standards, to using a life cycle analysis methodology. So the data that sits behind it is really complicated, and I'm not going to go into heaps of that for today, but what we really do is we help food brands move the needle when it comes to sustainability. I think what we see across the market is that, as a brand level, people have goals and aspirations, and, there's a lot of goodwill around delivering on sustainability. Yeah. But then particularly for SMEs that dominate our market here in Australia, it's actually really hard to then understand, okay, how do I deliver on this value proposition of sustainability? And what's really interesting, and will probably be one of the first steps for Karen as well, is understanding what's material across their footprint. And when I talk about materiality, it's about understanding where the biggest part of their impact is, so they have the greatest opportunity to drive change. And I think that if you can nail that, you can also nail a lot of the benefits that come from delivering on sustainability, which is greater brand loyalty, which is, more shelf space in our retailers, but also underlying, like we can't get mistaken around why we're here having this conversation, is because undeniably our planet is dying and we all need to do something. I think everyone generally wants to, but how can we help them with data to really put their efforts in the place where they can drive the greatest amount of action?
And Lauren, I think one of the things that you just said was really interesting, because I think a lot of us think about, well, if I just do these little things, then they'll add up to a big thing. But you're talking here about, let's find the thing, that the area of your business that is the main, behemoth of your concern.
Yeah.
And let's see what we can do.
Yeah, definitely, Kim. And I think for all of us, like, we're all busy, and no one more than our SMEs that dominate the food industry. Like, we're just so busy delivering a beautiful product day to day, whether that's the manufacturing, the branding. We're normally small teams. So it's really hard. And so actually it's about working smarter, not harder. And we can really use data across our operations to help us do that. I think, my background's biodiversity and conservation. So my bias in doing that is that if we actually work smarter rather than harder, and we focus where we can drive the greatest impact, we can all accelerate towards saving the planet as well, which is what gets me really excited.
Yeah. Okay. So what are we looking at over the next couple of weeks? What can our beautiful viewers be expecting to see and hear as we go through this process?
Yeah, so what we're going to do, so, full disclosure to everyone here, this hasn't been set up. Karen's never seen her products from a sustainability lens. So we just want to
That's why she's here.
So we're going to take you through those first steps. So in a minute, we're going to hear from Karen and try, just really high level understand where she's at on her sustainability journey and what it might mean to her. But what we're then going to do is Karen's going to choose a product in her portfolio, and we're going to measure the carbon, biodiversity and water footprint of that product. We're going to share that with Karen and her team, and then we're going to decide, okay, how can we take this data to improve that product, or maybe to communicate to consumers in a way that's defensible against greenwashing. There are so many different insights that will come out of this, but it will be the first time that Karen will have seen her products from that lens, as I mentioned before. Like, I'm sure Karen's all over the cost centers for a product. She's all over, supply and demand, but she will have never seen a carbon footprint attributed to her different wheat producers or to her different salts. So it's really eye-opening for brands. So that's what we're going to do. But Karen, before we close up today, do you want to talk a little bit just high level about where you guys are at on your sustainability journey and what you think it might mean for you being able to deliver on it?
Thanks, Lauren. Yeah, and Kim, I think it's so many key points there. I am a little nervous, I'd like to say, okay, because when you get
very fair.
When you get measured, then, you're starting to really, you've got real data, which is what I love also about this journey. We will have a real data. So in the 30 years, all those points you said, Lauren, is that we've been busy growing, we've been busy perfecting recipe, we've been busy maintaining quality, we've been busy fighting environmental factors, as in, the dreaded COVID or anything else that comes along, price increases. We've been busy being an SME, and often that means you're working in your business more than we're working on your business. To your point, Kim, I think we are the typical business that we've always been conscious of doing the little things in sustainability and environmental sustainability. We know we do little things. We know when decisions are made and put to us about inks or what packaging or what board, we are consciously looking. Are we always able to make that right decision when it comes down to a financial? Yes, I want to go this way, but costs say I need to go this way. But what I love about this journey is, and I explained, Kurrajong's been around for 30 years in this year, and the 30 years is we've built an amazing brand on an original recipe and just looking at customer service and what our product delivers to our customer, and then working through the model to get the FMCG model to get to our customer. So our next 30 years, we took an approach and going, if we're going to survive the market, the brand wants to become from where it is 30 years to an iconic brand, what does it need to do? So we've introduced a new range, of which the first one that I've spoken to Lauren and going, this is the one I really would like to target to study, because it's our future, because we had to assess what's the future of Kurrajong Kitchen and what does it look like a product to a consumer. And we've come up with this little product. This is the first of three. This is called Oaklees, and it's
hold it up. Karen, you need
hold
to
it up.
Is that better?
Yep.
Oaklees.
You'll be glad to know I bought some the other day.
Oh, thank you.
They're all gone.
Oh, good. That's even better. That's
They're
the best
delicious.
part.
You put a little bit of cheese and a little bit of a pickle, and they're delicious.
Yum.
None of this is sponsored, everyone. I'd like you all to know we're all here for the love of a good time and being on camera.
Yes.
I said no one ever.
So we've really, it's great to be able to go, wow, this is the future, and we've looked at this as a really interesting social impact, that it's going to make and what it will do, because it's got a little insert card that speaks to people's values, and it's about love. And one of the messages in there that we put these little cards inside, which I'm sure will be footprinted as well, so I'll learn that lesson. And this is actually, that one isn't about the environment, that's about love. But when these cards go inside, some of them are about environment, so we're considering it and we know it's important.
Yeah.
And my granddaughters are 3 under 3, so the future is theirs. Okay, so this is about, so this is such an important, well, talking about taking the first step and what we're going to do and really a legacy to them, and looking at what does that mean? That's really an emotion. What's it mean to them? And then I have to put the business hat on and go, what's it mean to the business and the consumer and the market, the model and all of it. So I have to find the balance. I'd love to give them the world and say we can do everything perfect, but what I'm really pleased about is that we can do a measurement and look at seriously what Lauren will give me, and it may be scary what we can do. But we are, whilst I spoke about those numbers of how much product we have, we are a family business. We are small, we are a medium business, and we compete against multinationals.
Yeah.
So if you want to sit there, you have to compete in that ring and what you're doing. You can't sit back and say, I'm a small business and no one will notice me, because we're a bit beyond that these days. So we have to come up with what options we can in that respect. So it is going to be a very exciting journey to take Oaklees and the sister. This is called the Sisters range, because the other two products coming out will in fact be her two sisters' names. They're coming to market. So that'll be great to be able to say what learnings can we get from Oaklees, move forward with that and introduce to the sisters range.
Absolutely.
Completely.
Absolutely. This is really exciting.
It is. And I just want to touch on one point, Karen, and hopefully we can take you through this to show that actually delivering on sustainability will be the strongest commercial decision that you as a business can make. And we'll unpack this across the next 4 weeks, is like those commercial drivers for sustainability, whether that's consumer demand, whether that's understanding what the products on the shelves of the retailers need to do to help them meet their sustainability targets. And then also it's about understanding margins, so your cost to acquire products. So what we're seeing for companies is that if you're procuring a product that's incredibly unsustainable, it will typically become more expensive to procure that product in the future. So it's about understanding that risk across your portfolio as well. So finally, for someone who's been so passionate about sustainability, finally we can see the commercial drivers and the planetary drivers lining up. So hopefully we'll unpack that neatly for you.
And can I say, Lauren, us as a brand, that's also whilst we're speaking to our consumer through a little card or on the back, we've got a little message of love is made. And love is made in this particular sisters range. The love is made through love of planet, etc. as well. And then that becomes our responsibility to educate our consumer as well through this. So we've understood that as well as we've grown throughout Lavosh, and we got here, but now let's start to measure it.
Yeah. And I think something that's come across from both of what you've been saying is there are so many different facets to this. So what starts off as just a measurement actually then has these tendrils that touch pretty much every single part of your business. And I think that's a really positive thing for people to know, that it can sound daunting, it can sound unachievable. We're going to show across the next couple of weeks that that's not true, but also that in doing it, the benefits actually far exceed what that original little tangible thing was on the page. So
I think that's so true, Kim.
Yeah. Okay. Oh yes, Karen.
I was just going to say what I think is what you've called the series here, what we call the series, taking the first step in sustainability. It's as an SME, it's so important, because sometimes I've looked at sustainability and gone, oh, too scary, take a step back, no, I can't do that. Although I'm doing my little bits, this is such a nice journey to be on, and really pleased that I'm on it.
Yay.
Awesome. Okay. Well, stay tuned. Yeah.
Yes, stay tuned. We shall be back.